Okay, so welcome along to Slydog Racing League Tier 2, and we're going to be doing Italy and Singapore. Just finished with Tier 1, two exciting races. Let's see what kind of excitement we're going to have here in Tier 2. Should have quite a few different drivers here as well, so it should be quite an interesting race. Drivers are just going to be selecting their setups, and we should be get started with the one-shot qualifying for Italy in just a bit. And it is going to be a 25% race, guys, so it should be ending pretty shortly. So there's going to be a lot of excitement in a very short period of time. And then we're going to be getting straight into the second race. Here we go with the Lawson already out. Let's see if we can follow. Oh, we're going to follow Mogi, someone different from the league. As he goes on his lap. Let's see if he's going to invalidate the lap or not. Seems to be doing pretty well so far. Pincher currently holding up in top. Finger now on top. Mogi in second so far. CGS running fifth right now. Joe BCR in fourth. Liam going up to 8. Mogi going down to 7th now. Times are changing like crazy. Let's see who's going to come out on top of this one. TMB running retired from the session. Probably crashed out there. Joseph running in 8th. Bring F1 in 7th. Liam 6th now. Philo running in 4th right now. Mogi takes back 1st. Let's see what's going to happen down at the end. Quite interesting how the position changes as we go. As the game is following who is currently going faster than who as they all go around on the same lap at the same time. Alright, half of the field has some has retired, some have just invalidated their lap. So let's see. Oh, we got a 120.2. I think it was a 120 point something we had in tier 1 as well. So quite an interesting lap time there. And that's going to be Mogi on pole position for the start of the Italian Grand Prix there right now. Alright, so let's see how they line up. So Mogi starts on pole in Mercedes. ZGS goes second, bring up 1/3. Liam is going to be fourth. Osborne fifth. Jinx is going to be sixth. Carl seventh. Joseph eighth. Joe BCR ninth. Philo in 10th. Pinch is 11. Monster 12. TMB 13. D Lawson 14. Finger 15th. And answer 15 drivers and how they start for the Italian Grand Prix here today. And after this, we should be getting straight into Singapore, where it's going to be top 10 reverse grid, which is so much fun to watch. So we're just going to wait for another 5 seconds for that to go in. Then the loading screen gets passed. Everyone is going to see like this race strategy set up. And we should be getting started with the race right away. Alright guys, here we go, the start of the Italian Grand Prix for Slydog Racing League Tier 2. Let's see how positions are going to change as they go around. Let's try and get the start of the race as much as we can. Quite a few position changes happening down at the back. Let's see how turn 1 goes for them. Oh, Ferrari already off track. He's trying to get back on, having some trouble. We got a McLaren and a Mercedes into the wall. And we might definitely we have once again we have a safety car on lap 1 for the Italian Grand Prix. So no overtaking until we get finished with the safety car. We're going to see quite a few pit stops happen because I'm sure quite a few cars at the back are damaged from those incidents that happened there. So we still got Mogi leading the race. Let's see. We're going to be changing that off now. Going on to tires. It's a finger the only car to start on mediums. Oh, Pincher started on mediums as well. So Mogi currently leads off of ZGS and Bring F1 in third. Liam going fourth right now. Philo went up into fifth now. Monster now up into 6, Osborne into 7, Jinx 8, TMB 9, the Finger is now 10, D-Loss in 11, Joseph in 12 now, Carl's in 13, Joe BCR now in 14, and Pinch now in 15th. As we're still running under safety car regulations, so no overtaking until we finish with the safety car here. We're going to see quite a few pit stops happening until Mogi catches up with the safety car. Then we're going to be going at a slower pace here. I think the safety car is a little bit out in front of him. He should be getting caught up with it right around this corner here. There we go. Here he is. So he's not going to be able to go past the safety car. He's going to have to follow along for now. That was quite an interesting start for the Italian Grand Prix here as well. For Tier 1, we did have this very similar situation, having a safety car on the start of lap 1. And it's happened again here. Not sure if Singapore is going to be the same thing. We're going to have a look at that very shortly as well when we get there, to see how that race is going to go. But for now, we're going to stay focused on Italy here. And Monster with a 5-second penalty collision with Jinx. Guys are going to really... Actually, I don't know how much you can avoid it. It's so easy to just collide with a car in front of you when you're running under a safety car. Because these guys are just not used to just driving this slow. They all just want to go flat out to the car. So it's very difficult to keep your car with a 40% less speed go driving this way. Worst thing to do is hit that safety car there, Mogi, so just be careful with that one. So guys, switching on to the mediums already. Remember, it's only 13 laps for this race, so those mediums switching off to them now definitely going to be taking you to the end of the race, which is a strategy that some of the cars actually use in the Tier 1 race, and actually ended up finishing much higher up after the guys out front had to pit. So let's see how Mogi and ZGS and Liam and the other guys on front are going to work with the strategy the guys are using now at the back, because I don't think they're going to be pitting again, going from 10th all the way down. And we have a few more pit stops happening down at the top now. These guys are now pitting as well. Except for Mogi and I think. I know Mogi hasn't pitted, the Finger hasn't pitted. Pincher, I think, already pitted. So quite a mix-up happening right now because of pit stops. But Mogi has not pitted, so he's definitely going to want to think about that strategy he's using. Lawson hasn't pitted either. He's still running on his soft that he started with. So Mogi, the Finger, Pincher, and Lawson. Top 4 guys have not done a pit stop yet, I think. Let's just check on that. No, they have not. Oh, and Kaz hasn't pitted as yet either. So that's going to be quite interesting to see how their strategy is going to work against everyone else's here now, because the safety car in some way actually helps everyone who has already pitted. They don't have to do another pit stop as yet. Jinx, interestingly, has chosen to go onto the hard compound tires now. So he's going to be going to the end of those. Of course, that's a slower tire to work with, because I think with this amount of laps remaining, you're going to be going back to racing by the time we get to lap 4 here. So the mediums are definitely going to be making it to the end. I think we should be coming to the end of the safety car pretty soon here. Yeah, and there we have it, safety car in this lap. So they're getting back to racing. We're going to have just about 10 laps remaining for racing here, and I'm quite sure those mediums can make it to 10 laps. That's the loss on a 5-second penalty. Collision with Pincher's car. He's going to want to be careful about that there right now. Got some support in the comment section for drivers here. Not entirely which drivers it is at the moment. But it's always good to see fans supporting drivers in a race. Alright, there we go. I think we're about to get back here racing here now. Safety car is in. Mogi's trying to jet off in front, but he's going to be chased down by the finger and pincher there. Let's see how turn 1 is going to go on this instant. Hopefully not another safety car, I hope. Oh, and 2 cars trying to get into it, going around. I think that was pincher and the finger there. Jinx with a 3-second penalty there already. I think a Racing Point didn't make it through properly through that first corner. Had to take the runaway on the side of the track. See what's happening out front here. Mogi 1.5 seconds away from Pincher right now. Finger chasing Pincher down, just about half a second behind. Has Lawson for company just behind him as well. I think Lawson is going to try for an overtake on this point. Definitely going for it, using all the overtake he has right now, which is saved up. He's now into P3. Finger is now down into P4. Joe BCR up into P7 off of Joseph there now as well. Some exciting racing happening here right now. Liam just half a second behind Philo right now, trying to catch him up there as well. I got Joe BCR and Osborne probably trying to go for it here. I think Osborne has gotten past. Trying to get past Joe BCR. I think Joe BCR got past him, not sure as yet. That's Mogi with the fastest lap so far, having Clean Air running out in front of him right now. Liam getting past. Oh, Philo is in the pits there. Not sure if he took some damage off that restart. I got the finger and bring F1 going at it here. They're going side by side with each other right now. Joe BCR is trying to stay ahead of the finger right now. Pincher, the 3-second penalty, that's not going to play out too well for him down at the end of this race. Liam and I think Cars has spun. His car is wrong. Might have just put that car into the wall a little bit there as well. Got Lawson chasing down Pincher. Now Mogi's still leading this race. He's still going to have to do a pit stop, because it's mandatory right now. He keeps, however, doing the fastest lap, and he is on soft still, but running pretty well on those softs. Bring F1 doing pretty well, trying to go side by side with D. Lawson here. Let's see if we can get him into that turn. I don't think he is. Trying to squeeze it. Might be trying to pull a switch, not close enough to get it done. He's going to have to hold it down into third for now. Bring F1 still trying to push it. Monster has retired from the race. Not sure what happened to his car. We have a safety car for that incident. Not sure where his car is on track right now. Might be able to see it on this occasion here. There is his car, just disappeared off track. So that incident has caused another safety car. I'm not sure how happy everyone is going to be about this, but I think Mogi is going to be pretty excited about it, because he gets to take a free pit stop here and come back not too far back. And actually still keep himself in the race. Got a lot of support for Joseph, who is currently running P7. Actually not bad. Oh, he just got a 5-second penalty though. Severe collision with Liam. Gonna want to avoid those penalties, because they really are going to affect your position down at the end of the race. Oh, what on earth just happened there? Not sure if that was intentional or not. Okay, so quite a few pit stops happening. That puts Bring F1 to the lead of the race now. Osborne takes second. Joseph now is in third on podium for finish here, if he can actually finish the race right there, because I think with 4 laps on those mediums done, he's definitely going to be able to go to the end on that. TMB running in fourth right now. Mogi in fifth. So Mogi is coming out on fresh mediums and has about half of the race left to try and catch and get her back into P1 to lead the race again. If he's going to be able to do it, I'm not sure, or even try for a podium position here. So this safety car has worked out pretty well for him so far. I think he's probably counting on that happening. So those pit stops put quite a few drivers up into the top spots for the lead of the race there now. So we got Finger in 6th, Pincher in 7th, Joke BCR in 8th, D. Lawson running 9th now. We got Philo now running in 10th, Liam in 11th, Cars in 12th, Jinx in 13th, and ZGS in 14th. Monster out of the race. Let's go back out in front. We bring F1 Osborne and Joseph here. So I think we should have quite a good battle for the lead of the race between Bring F1, Osborne, and Joseph. Because the three of them are going to stay quite close together as they are right now, just right on everyone's rear running. Just waiting for that safety car to go in to get back racing here. We're going to have at least maybe another 7 laps, 6 laps or so of racing left by the time we get with the safety car. I assume the safety car should be coming in on this lap, on lap 8 right now, so we go back racing on lap 9. That leaves us maybe just about 5 laps of racing. Not a lot of time to get positions up, so these guys are going to want to really go for it. Hopefully we don't have any more serious incidents happen in this race. We've only lost 1 driver so far, that's Monster out of the race. 14 drivers still remain, so still quite competitive for these guys. Not entirely sure about penalties as yet. I know a few drivers do have penalties. It's definitely going to be affecting their positions at the end of the race, because when you do lose positions, if the penalties allow a driver behind you to go ahead, a 3-second penalty might not seem as much, but it really actually can just push you off positions here, especially on the podium. You don't want to lose it, so you're going to want to try and build a gap with the car behind you. We should have the safety car coming in this lap. We should be seeing that graphic pretty soon as we enter into sector 3 of the track. It'll be quite interesting to see how the restart goes with the top at least 5-6 cars to see what's going to happen here. I think we got ZGS down in 14 trying to catch up to the pack before they get back racing here right now. Haven't seen the graphics as yet that we're going back. Oh, there. No, that's race control from Mogi. 5-second penalty, severe collision with the Finger. Where is Mogi right now? In 6th. What's happening with the mixture on the back? I think someone might have done something they shouldn't have. Anyway, safety car has veered off into the distance already. We are going back racing on this lap. I don't know if I missed that graphic or not. As Peeling with a 5-second penalty. A lot of collisions happening before we get back racing, and here we go there. And of course, no overtaking until we get across that white line, so let's see how this one goes. Joseph under some serious pressure right now from Finger, though, as he's chasing him down. He might be going side by side with him into turn 1. This might get a little bit ugly if we do have collisions. Oh, he's holding back. Staying in 4th for now. Oh, he's trying to go on the outside, though. Might have to go off track a little bit. Joseph loses 1 position. Pincher is up because of all that commotion happening. Lawson running in 6th there now. Mogi might be trying to get a move down on him. This might be a serious fight down to the end of the race. So Bring F1 still leads. Osborne still running 2nd. Oh, Pincher now takes away 2nd from him. He's climbing the field for some reason. Not sure what's happening with his car between everyone else, but he is running on faster tires on the soft, so does have a bit more of an advantage off of everyone else who is running on older medium tires, which are much slower right now. Osborne now down into third. The finger in fourth, trying to chase him down, trying to get a position up here. Definitely going to be taking it on the inside as Osborne goes a little bit wide off coming off that parabolica there. Jinx with a 3-second penalty. Those penalties are really going to add up there. I got the finger guy trying to get close. That gap is extending a bit as Philo just loses the position to Joseph now. Joseph back up into 7th, who has to take the runaway off the track to get back into the race. Hopefully he didn't take any damage. Nope, he didn't take any damage off of that. Got a 5-second penalty though. That's definitely going to hurt him a bit. Still in the points in play for this. In 9 currently running. Might be starting in 2nd for Singapore if he finishes here. Which is not too bad. Of course, you do want all the points in both races. So he's going to try and get a bit higher up if he can. Got Liam under a 2nd behind Philo right now. Joseph trying to catch up from behind. Has some pressure coming off of TMB behind him though. Going alongside and going past. Seems to have a lot more straight line speed. Joseph might have some problems with his car as he has a bit of overtake to use. Might want to think about using that for a bit. Or probably keeping it. Has about 3 laps of racing left to go, so a little bit more time, not too much though, because drivers are going to want to be careful about this. Mogi getting very close to the finger getting just under a quarter of a second behind Osborne right now. That's going to be a fight happening for final podium positions. Pincher gets the fastest lap of the race. Pincher is flying through the field. He is of course half a second behind Bring F1 right now. Might be fighting for the lead of the race here. As Joe PCR goes past the finger now, takes over P4, finger down into P5. Mogi running P6 right now, chasing down still. Oh, we got Pincher trying to get past Bring F1 for the lead of the race. Getting very close, minor contact. So our leaders are still going at it. Joe PCR gets up into P3 back there, also we're now down into P4. See what's happening right down at the back. We got Feeler running 7 just behind Mogi right now. Might be trying for a double overtake on this one. Let's see how close it's gonna come. It's gonna have to outbrake to get this move done. Gets it done. Oh, pushes Liam off track there. Oh no, sorry, that was Mogi off track, I think. Yep. Had no room to go, still try to go for it, but nowhere else to go. You got to go off track under to gravel just a little bit. Does slow you down quite a bit though. Let's see, we got Liam running in 8th now, TMB running in 9th. 2.3 seconds behind Liam. We got Joseph Red running in 10, 2.1 seconds behind TMB. He's going to want to try and ready to get down. Just about a lap and a half more left to go. Actually, just about 1 lap left to go maybe. It's about a lap and a half, let's call it that. For now, as both Renault guys are fighting it out for final podium positions here. Joseph went down to 11. I think he's trying to fight and get back up. Back into 10th now. Let's see if he can hold on to it to the end of the race as his teammate is chasing him down. I'm not sure if they're on radio with each other right now to decide who's going to take the 10th for the moment, because whoever takes 10th here is starting on pole for Singapore. So it is quite an important decision for these guys to make. So I'm not sure between Joseph and Lee Lawson who's going to take this one. Have no idea if they're in contact with each other to decide on that. But they're going to be chasing each other down to the end. Philo goes up into P4 from Osborne. They're now down to P5. Pincher takes a 3-second penalty. Up into the lead of the race though. 2.2 seconds ahead of Bring F1. So that's quite interesting to see. As Lee Lawson tries to go back in front of Joseph. Gets it done. Joseph is going to chase him down again. I think definitely Renault is letting these two guys race it out. The finger is out of the race. We might have a VSC for that incident. I'm not sure as yet. That's definitely going to affect things here as we're in the final lap. Oh, Mogi and the finger are out of the race. Not sure, entirely sure what happened with the two of them there. There is one car at the side there. I'm not sure where the other one is. That puts D Lawson up into 8th, Joseph up into 9th now, safely into the points there. One car out, that's ZGS out of that. And we're in the final lap of the race going around in Sector 2 at the moment. We got Bring F1 and Joe BCR fighting it out for P2 at the moment here. Philo about 5.2 seconds away from this, so he's not able to get into this fight, especially with this being the last lap of the race. I think these two are going to take it all the way down to the end. As Joe BCR gets DRS, uses whatever overtake he has, trying to find a gap to go alongside Bring F1. Let's see who comes out on top of this one. Bring F1 might try and use the slipstream a bit on this one to get it past, going through the parabolica if he can, I'm not sure. I think they might actually have to hold it just like that as Pincher comes across the line for a pole position of the race, takes a 5-second on-stop penalty. Let's see how that affects him. Definitely does affect him. Bring F1 takes P1, Joe BCR goes to P2, Pincher comes down to P3. We got Philo coming around to take P4. Oh, quite a few changes happening. Osborne, all of this because of penalties now, takes P3, Philo takes P4, Pincher goes P5, Liam goes 6, TMB coming across with Lawson behind him, goes 7, Joseph takes 8 away from Lawson because of penalty, Lawson goes down to 9th, Carls takes 10th, and ZGS should come across for 11th because of that time difference. So not a bad job there. And there we go, that is the end of the Italian Grand Prix here this evening for us. We are going to be heading straight into the Singapore Grand Prix now, where we're going to have the top 10 do a reverse grid for the start, and that's Joe BCR for driver today. Not bad at all. He did drive an excellent race there, as did everyone else. I can't say it wasn't a fun race to watch. Alright guys, one more 25% race to go. No qualifying for this one. We're just doing a top 10 reverse grid, and that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Alright, so let's see how the top 10 are going to start for our second race at Singapore. Alright, so for this race, results are as follows. Bring F1 takes pole position, Joe BCR takes second, Osborne takes third, that's podium positions there. Philo takes fourth, Pinch goes fifth, Liam takes sixth, TMB takes seventh, Joseph 8th, D Lawson 9, Cos 10th. CGS takes 11, Mogi 12, Finger 13, Jinx goes 14, Monster 15. So for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix, we're going to have Cos starting on pole, D Lawson starts second, Joseph starts third, TMB starts fourth, Liam starts fifth, Pinch starts sixth, Philo starts seventh, Osborne will start 8th, Joe BCR starts 9th, and Bring F1 should be starting 10th. So let's see how well they're gonna, well, quite a lot of penalties actually. 14 seconds of penalties for Pincher. If only there was a trophy for that. Alright guys, so just give them a few minutes. The guys are gonna be setting up the grid for custom start, just to get the second race started. That should be happening in about 2 to 3 minutes time, and then we'll get started with that. Should be quite an interesting start. We're gonna try and catch as much of the start for turns 1, 2, and maybe 3 at least if we can for the entire grid. For Singapore, it is a little bit difficult to switch between the camera angles sometimes, but we'll try and get as much of that as we can for you. Alright guys, here we go, getting started with the Singapore Grand Prix. Let's switch on to position changes. Let's see what's going to happen. Quite a few position changing as we get started here. No incidents as yet. Everyone seems to be going through pretty cleanly so far. Oh, and Joseph takes the lead of the race already. Out front. Oh, that's a Ferrari into the wall. That's a Racing Point into the wall. Two drivers probably out of the race there. The finger is out. TMB is out. That's definitely going to be a VSC. That should be clear by the time we get around back again. So we should be getting back racing pretty shortly. So we got Joseph currently leading the Singapore Grand Prix and started one position down from this. So good job on him for getting that pinch. Currently in second, started about 3 positions down from here. Liam got a position up in third. Philo in fourth now, started at about 6th I think. Mogi in 5th now. Osborne now in 6th. Bring F1 in 7th. ZGS in 8th. Joe BCR lost the position. He's now down in 9th. Jinx in 10th. Started right there. D lost in 11th. We got Monster in 12th, right? No, he gained 1 position there, I think. Or is that where he started? We got TTV Ryan. Ryan is in 13, gained 1 position, and Kaz lost 13 positions from the start of this race. We're back racing again as Joseph is going to be under a bit of pressure here off of Pincher now because he is right on the tail of him. Of course, Pincher has a missing end plate on his front wing. That's going to affect performance, so he's still going to be pushing to try and get an overtake done here though because no one was able to pit under that VSC, I think. Let's switch that down to tires now. Everyone currently running on softs. Joseph driving pretty well out front so far. We got D Lawson getting a position up off of Jinx there. Monster getting a position up off of him as well. He might be having some problems down at the back. Oh, Pincher is losing a position to Philo, getting out into second now. So Joseph going to have to be worried about Philo instead of Pincher now. As let's see what's going to happen if they're going to be able to get alongside. Staying in second for the moment. Might try to take on the outside here. Oh, Joseph goes wide, loses a position to Philo, goes into second, still fighting it out though. I think Pincher's going to try and come back to try and get an advantage out of this battle happening out front. Of course, Joseph still now running in second. That's not a problem. He still has a chance to get back out into first. Pincher running just behind him, in third. Oh, he's under some more pressure from Liam down behind him. Of course, guys, remember, Singapore is quite a difficult track to overtake on. It's not that easy. There are only a few overtaking opportunities available on this track, especially if you don't have the DRS. It's going to be even harder as Pincher's trying to get past Joseph out in front. Seems to have gotten it done. Joseph might have to use some overtake to try and get that back if he's able to, but this is quite a difficult section of the track to actually do that in. Oh, and Philo is leading out in front, 2.7 seconds away from Pincher right now, so he's getting a gap built up. Liam has a damaged front wing right now. Pincher has a damaged front wing as well, missing end plates, and I don't think Joseph has any damage at the moment. Nope, he still has both end plates on, so he has a full downforce to use on his car. Oh, and Liam is trying to get alongside him to go past right now. Might be taking on the inside and squeezing him on this one. DRS is now enabled. That's going to be helping a lot of drivers out as Joseph goes down to fourth. Mogi running in fifth behind him. We got Bring F1 just behind Mogi running. He might be trying to get up a position here if he's able to get close enough. I'm not sure. Oh, has to try and break in time, which is not as easy as we'd expect it to do. Uses DRS and overtake. Tries to get past Mogi on the outside. Joseph is trying to block for him down to get past there as well. But I think he's going to have to be careful. Just try and keep that position for now. Mogi's still very close to Bring F1 here though. Bring F1 is now up into fourth. Joe BCR. Oh, and that's, I think that was Mogi spinning there. That's probably going to be maybe a VSC or just yellow flags. I'm not sure as yet. Some minor incidents happening there. Cars getting spun around. We're back racing though. We're still good. Just a yellow flag in that sector. I think someone is off though. You got 2 cars in the pits. And Mogi might be out of this race. His car is stuck on track and not moving. Not sure if that's going to trigger a VSC or not here. Nope, he's out of the race. And Mogi's been disqualified from the race for being parked in a dangerous section of the track. Alright, so we got Liam into the pits. That moves a few cars up. So Philo still leads, bring up one in second. Joseph now back into third, getting back up into high up into the race there now. Monster now into fourth. And Osborne in fifth. We got ZGS in sixth, trying to catch up with Osborne to get past. Let's see if he's going to be able to do this here. So we got about 2 cars in the pits right now. Of course, pit stops are going to be happening pretty shortly. It's only a 15-lap race, guys, but it gets done pretty quickly. So it's only a limited amount of time you actually have to get something done. Joseph just went down to fourth. Monster went up to third. Osborne just behind him about half a second. He's going to have to try and be a little bit worried about that. As we got ZGS trying to find a gap to go on Osborne here right now. And I got Joe BCR trying to get past Lee Lawson right now. Not getting gap as yet. He is pushing it for it here though. Pincher getting very close to Liam, just behind these guys battling out here as well. Quite a difficult track to overtake on, and oh, gets around, tries to take the inside, gets it done actually. Lee Lawson's going to be chasing him down though, try and get that back. I think ZG just lost some time there. Osborne under a second behind Joseph out in front in fourth. Joseph has about 2.3 seconds to catch up to Monster to try and get a podium position here and hold it. So we got ZGS up into 5th, Chopi's are into 6th now. Lee Lawson up into 6th, so we got a pit stop happening. Osborne in the pits. Let's see what tires he's going to go on here. And I'm not even sure if that's right. Oh, is that a mistake? Oh no, it's actually starting to rain here. So this is going to change things up quite a bit. Did he choose the right time to go onto the Inters tire? Because it's just starting to drizzle now. I'm not sure if its track is actually ready for these tires as yet. But this is going to be quite interesting though to see how this works out now. If it's actually going to start to rain, which it is, because we can see the droplets starting to come already. And I don't think it's ready for the Inters on track as yet. I think there might have been a lap or two early there. But let's see if everyone else is actually struggling on their tires right now. And Trem is laughing at the rain. I didn't even expect it was going to rain on this race. It's been quite a while since we've seen some race, a race with Singapore with rain in it. So it's actually a lot of fun to watch here right now. It's going to be quite interesting to see how this changes the race. And we're only about 25% into it. So it's going to be quite interesting. Let's see what's happening out front. So Philo leads 11 seconds behind his Bring F1. Philo's getting a serious gap built up here right now. Trying to build himself a safety net of some kind. Bring F1 in second. Monster just a half a second behind him. Joseph running P4 right now. 6.2 seconds to catch up. ZGS running 5th, just behind Joseph there, but just about a quarter of a second. So that's actually a pretty close gap. Oh, and Joe BCR is just behind ZGS as well, trying to get past him right now. He's going to have to try and get a gap to go on. Of course, track temperature is about to start to drop here now because of this rain coming in. So the average driver on track is going to want to start to think about when it's going to be safe to switch over to the intermediate tires for the wet conditions, because this rain does seem to be coming down a little bit fast. Of course, the race will end pretty shortly. When I say pretty shortly, I mean in about 10 to 15 minutes, but the rain could actually get here in about 5 minutes, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out as yet. Osborne's still running on those intermediate tires, but I'm not sure well it's working for him. Let's switch on board to him right now. Doesn't seem to be working too well. As I said, I think it's about 2 laps too early for this. You got to really watch how the rain comes down. He's going to have to take it slow right now. Those tires are being worn out because there's no water to displace on track. So that was a bit of a bad decision on his end, I think. Personal opinion, no offense, but yep, definitely struggling on them. Yep, the Tier 1 boys seem to be enjoying watching Tier 2 struggle in the rain here a bit now. Oh, and Monster is out. He's DNF. His car is stuck on track. Safety car because of that incident. I'm not even sure what happened there. I think he was battling it out with someone. We did miss that. Ryan with a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Really, Ryan? The safety car just came out. Gotta be careful with that. So Philo leads off for Bring F1, 16.8 seconds now. Joseph now running in third on podium here. Hopefully he gets the finish here, because if he can take his pit stop under the safety car, it'll be pretty good for him and Bring F1 as well. Of course, they're gonna have to really think about strategy for this one, because I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to pit us yet, because they're gonna have to think whether they're gonna have to just go on the intermediate tires when they actually do this pit stop, and they might have to just wait it. Oh, Philo on the pits. Going into intermediate tires now. He's coming out, which means it might be actually time for it. I think it could work, maybe a lap more or so, but in this instance, you actually want to do it on this lap right now, the first lap under the safety car. It is the best place and time to do it. Joseph in the pits as well, serving a penalty there and changing his front wing, I think. Oh, and holding up his teammate, D. Lawson there now behind. And let's see what tires he chooses to go on. I think he's going on to the dry tires there, though, not going on to the wets. A bold move. Let's see if that's going to work out for him. Not everyone has gone on to the intermediate tires, so let's see. It's a mix of strategies happening on track. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Who actually made the right decision and who made the wrong one here right now? I still think it's a bit early for these inters. It doesn't seem to have started to rain that hard as yet. Let's go on board with someone. Nope, this is light rain. As far as I'm concerned, dry tires are perfect for this. You can still go. You just got to be careful about grip on going around some of the sharp corners here. That's going to be it. It needs at least another 3 laps of rain coming on. A little bit more heavy, maybe. Or maybe a lap more or 2. I'm not sure. Of course, it is all depends on the feel of the cars for the drivers. But even switching onto the intermediates right now, it's still going to be a little bit tricky. Of course, under the safety car, it's going to be a little bit safer, I would say, because you don't have to go as fast. But you're going to have to try and warm the intermediate tires up a bit. Of course, there's no water on track for it to display as yet, as it's only just starting to rain. So how well is this working out? We're not sure as yet. So we got 12 drivers remaining in the race so far. Let's see what's going to happen when we get back to racing here. Just a mix of different strategies happening. We got some guys going on to the dry tires. We got some cars going on to the intermediate tires. Of course, if you did switch to intermediate, you're going to be going to the end of them. And if you did switch to the dry tires, sorry, you're going to have to make another pit stop if it gets too wet. For the dry tires, you're gonna have to just go to the intermediate. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. And we got cars disqualified from session, ignoring the yellow flags. I think he was the one that drove past the safety car for a second there. I'm not even sure if that was him. So that's 2 cars disqualified from this race so far. One was disqualified from being parked in the wrong part, well, a dangerous part of the track, and one has been disqualified for overtaking the safety car. I think it was him that overtook the safety car, which is ignoring the yellows there. Sorry. What on earth is that McLaren trying to do? And Pincher disqualified from the race for ignoring yellow flags as well. Where is Pincher's car? But he's still in the race. How is he disqualified? I have no idea what's happening here right now. Might be having a glitch on our end, guys. Not sure. No, Pincher is still in it. I'm not even sure what's going on. Might just be a glitch. Alright, so everyone's switching to intermediate tires under the safety car now. We still got about 2-3 cars. What's happening with Lawson here? Joseph in the pits. I think he's exiting the pits now on inters. He would have saved himself a lot of positions had he just went to the inters on his first go in the pits. I think they should have anticipated we were beyond the safety car for about 3 laps. So we should be coming to the end of it pretty soon. Then get back to racing. I think it would have been fine for the racing then. So just 2 cars left to go onto those inters right now. I think D. Lawson is about to go onto the intermediate tires. Yeah, it is a little bit glitchy on the session here right now. Even with Tier 1, I was having some glitches. There was a safety car, and I had absolutely no indication of that. As you see, it says safety car, yellow flag on the left-hand side of the screen on top. I didn't have that in Tier 1. There was a bit glitch happening. And we got Lawson still on dry tires. We got Ryan coming in, going on to the intermediate tires. So D Lawson is the only car running on dry tires right now, and it seems to have gotten to the correct conditions for intermediate tires on track right now. Yep, definitely need the intermediate tires right now, and safety car is going to be in on this lap, so it's going to be interesting to see how the restart goes here. Alright guys, so we're coming to the end of Sector 3 pretty shortly and we get back to racing. Let's see how this goes though. So 11 cars remain in the race, 2 disqualified for ignoring yellow flags, and 1 disqualified for being parked in a dangerous part of the track. Quite an interesting afternoon with Tier 2 here. Much more interesting than Tier 1, I would say. Did have quite a bit of an accident in the second to last lap of Tier 1 race at Singapore. Let's see if anything was going to happen with Tier 2 here at Singapore. And we get back to racing now. Let's see how it goes as we get back started here. Of course, you're not going to be seeing cars moving as fast as they were moving before. They're going to be a little bit slower on these tires. Pincher gets up a position already. Oh, fighting it out with the Haas. They might be stuck together. I'm not sure what's happening with them there. Oh, they gotten loose. They're good. And Bring F1 takes up a position off of Pincher. I got Osborne trying to get past ZGS right now. Pincher trying to get past back Bring F1. Joseph got up into 6th there. What's happened to his car? I think he lost the rear end for a little bit. Oh no, sorry, that wasn't Joseph's car. Pincher lost it a bit, that's why Joseph was able to make up a position up into 6th. No damage on the car so far. Bring F1 running there, let's see what's happening back out in front. So just about 6 laps remaining to go here. And that's Ryan with a 3-second penalty. ZG is running 1.5 seconds behind him, and Liam running in 3rd with 2.2 seconds behind ZG. Osborne in 4th, under a second behind Liam. Bring F1 in 5th, under a second behind Osborne. Joseph in 6th, about 2 seconds behind Bring F1 right now. Pincher in 7th, 1.5 seconds behind Joseph, so has a little bit of time to catch up now, because he did make a mistake and lose the rear end just a little bit. Joe VCR in 8th. He's way down in 11th. That's 11 seconds. We'll call that way to behind. Oh, and he's disconnected as well. We got Jinx in 9th. Is Jinx disconnected as well? It seems to be. And D Lawson running in 10th. If these two keep being disconnected, D Lawson gets promoted up into 8th here. Pincher seems to be struggling a bit in the rain. Remember, it's not as easy to drive in the wet conditions as it is in the dry. So some drivers are much better at driving in the wet conditions than others. So that's going to be one of the main factors that's going to come into play here. So we'll finish this race now as we're on the final 5 laps, I would say. Gap seems to be staying steady just a bit out front. Osborne is trying to keep the gap under a second behind his teammate Liam there. Not sure if Liam is going to let him go by, because Liam is currently in the final podium position in P3. They are struggling a bit in this wet. Definitely be finishing the race in these conditions here right now. Oh, getting a little bit wide there, Osborne. That's going to cause them, simple mistakes will cause them positions at this point because they are not far off of each other here right now as Bring F1 is going there. We got Joseph at 2.7 seconds behind, and that gap is starting to break down a little bit as Joseph seems to be struggling. Bring F1 seems to be struggling, and Joseph seems to be making up some time right now. If he can make these corners better, then definitely he'll be able to do that. Pincher is 1.2 seconds behind, trying to make up some time there as well. The rain is coming down a little bit more, so these guys are going to want to be careful about how they handle their braking zones on this track here right now. Oh, God, bring F1 getting very close to Osborne. Let's see if there's going to be an overtake happening in the rain here. That's going to be quite interesting. And there is going to be absolutely no DRS. That's going to be disabled by race control now because the conditions are a little bit too dangerous for that. I'm going to follow along with Bring F1 as he chases down Osborne. Oh, taps him on the rear just a little bit to let him know, hey, I'm here, ready to go by. Oh, and makes a little bit of mistake, loses the rear just a little bit. Has to be careful about that one. Conditions are getting a little bit horrible on track right now. It is going to be a little more difficult to drive. So if all 10 drivers can finish, it will be quite interesting for them. Ryan out of the race. So 10 drivers only remain. Oh, and that is Bring F1 into the wall. He's out of the race. Joseph goes up into 5th. Pincher goes up into 6th. Everyone will be moving up. 9 drivers only remain in the race right now, as we have Joseph and Pincher just under a second behind him. Joseph is going to come under some pressure here now. He's going to have to keep his driving stellar as he's been doing in the rain so far to keep Pincher behind him. Pincher is a guy who has a lot of straight line speed. Of course, he drives pretty well in the wet. I'm not sure how, in the dry. I'm not sure how well he's going to drive in the wet. And he has a missing end plate on that car. Seems to be sliding all over the place. And Joseph's car has absolutely no damage. Gap is about to go over a second if he try not to be able to break it down. That damaged front wing is going to affect his performance pretty much here. I'm not sure how well he's going to be able to keep up with Joseph. Closest gap we have at the moment is this one. And Bring F1 is out, so he's moving down. They'll also move up in the 9th. So that's only 9 drivers who have to finish this race. Has the wet conditions really caused all of this? I don't think so, because a lot of drivers were out before we actually had this rain come down. As you can see, Pincher's car just drifting all over the track right now. He's trying to keep control of that car, trying to break down the gap and take it back under a second to keep up with Joseph, who's in 5th right now. On lap 12 right now of this race. Monsters left the session. Philo leading out front off of ZGS, 3.4 seconds. Liam is about 3 seconds behind him as well. Osborne has about 6.8 seconds to catch up to if he wants to get a podium position. Joseph running 5th. 3 seconds behind Osborne. Let's see if he's going to be able to break that time down, as I'm not sure how worried he is about Pincher if he notices Pincher's car just swerving all over the track behind him. Pincher's going to want to be careful as well to avoid damaging that front wing anymore, because he's going to be losing more downforce, which means less capability of turning that car. And Joseph gets a 3-second penalty. Not going to be too hard on him about this, because it is so much more difficult to drive in the wet, and penalties are going to be easy to rack up here. Of course, that can actually cost you the position, so he's going to want to be careful about that and try to get a gap off for Pincher here right now, as he has a damaged front wing, which is clearly visible if he does look back. And Joseph has caught up to Osborne now. Under a second that gap is. He seems to be driving pretty well in the wet. Let's see if he can actually get past Osborne for P4. He's really pushing it here, but he's going to want to be very careful about the way he approaches his overtake, because this might actually cost him P5 if he actually goes wrong about it or causes an incident here. And Pincher gets a 3-second penalty now. That's even out. That's going to be... we got Osborne going into the pits, so Joseph is going to continue on and go up into P4 now, chasing after Liam, who is currently in P3. Still has Pincher behind him for company, though, just half a second behind. Osborne did pit onto those tires pretty early, so they're actually worn out now. So everyone else will be able to go to the end of the race on these tires. And Osborne has chosen to go on the wet. It might actually be wet enough for those tires, but I think the Intros can actually hold it for now. For 2 laps more, I think most drivers will choose to just push it out to the end of the race. Oh, and Pincher goes past Let's see if Joseph is able to get that back now. He might be able to, as Pincher did go a little bit wide there. He's going to try and take it on the outside. That was actually a little bit dangerous. That's going to cost him there. Now lost a part of his front wing. Still in 5th, trying to get back into the race now. Joe BCR is about 26 seconds behind him, so he has some time to keep himself going. I'm not sure if he's going to be taking a pit stop here. That's going to cost him if he does decide to do that. Pincher running in 4th now, 14 seconds behind, 15 seconds behind Liam, who's currently running in 3rd. And having a very difficult time trying to keep that car steady on track. Let's see how Liam is doing here. Actually, let's go out to Philo out in front and see what he's up to. I think he's trying to be as careful as he can right now, avoiding penalties and trying to keep ZGS behind him. 5.2 seconds, the gap is building now. Yeah, he's doing pretty well out front. So the rain has really changed things here at Singapore for us, and ZGS now 5 seconds ahead of Liam as well. Pincher 17 seconds behind them. Joseph now still running in 5th. Damage front wing is 7.5 seconds behind Pincher. And we're about to go into the final lap, I think, of the race. No, I think we still got a lap and a half more to go here. And he is going to stick it out with the broken wing and keep it going to the end of the race. Pincher is in the pits, changing his front wing. Surprisingly, Joseph has way more damage and hasn't chosen to pit. He is still driving. I think Pincher is having trouble with the tires on his car. Maybe that's why he decided to change. He wanted fresher intermediate tires to run with. He is going to be coming out further down the line though, and it's so hard to overtake on this track, especially with these conditions that we currently have. So that's going to be quite interesting, and I think everyone currently running on the Inters are going to just hold it out until the end. 5 laps for Liam and Joseph, so they're definitely going to be able to make it all the way to the end there now. Philo and ZGS are going to hold it on going to the final lap of this race. They're not going to want to take a chance taking a pit stop because they're going to lose positions definitely here. Philo probably will end up in 3rd, so will ZGS, and probably end up in 4th maybe if he does decide to take a pit stop here. Taking his time getting around, trying to avoid damage at all costs here right now in that Haas. ZGS running in 2nd in the Ferrari. He's trying to be as careful as he can as well. And we got Liam running 3rd right now. Joseph now in 4th. He should be able to finish in this exact position as he has Osborne 14 seconds behind him. Of course, Osborne is now on wets and he seems to be gaining time off of this car. I'm not sure if it's those tires, I'm not sure if they're working better for him or not. Seems to be having some trouble with it a little bit, as everyone else is still having trouble with their tires. That move caused Joseph a bit, but he's still back up into 4th. Joe BCR now running in 6th. Disconnected. Pinch running in 7th. And Jinx running in 8th. Disconnected. Quite a few drivers disconnected from the race. We might have about 5 actual drivers finish this race here. Yep, Joe BCR is disconnected from the race. So hopefully Pinch can get past him quickly and get up. He should be promoted there anyway. Let's get back out in front and see what's happening with Osborne here right now on his wet tires. And we're currently in the last lap of the race running around. Got Philo going in sector 2 at the moment. We're going to follow on board with him for just a bit as he goes around. I don't think anyone else is close to each other. Joby's here disconnected, so no point following that battle here. As Pinch has gotten past into 6 now. Jinx in 8 is disconnected. So Joby's here is disconnected. So Pinch is running. 6 actual drivers will be finishing this race for Tier 2. Quite interesting. Weather has changed a lot of stuff here. Liam is about 2.8 seconds behind ZGS. I'm not sure if he's able to catch up before we get to the finish line here. I don't think he's going to be able to do that. He seems to be having a difficult time with his tires as well. As we go on with Philo here now, as he comes across the final turn to take pole position for the Singapore Grand Prix here for Tier 2 on Slydog Racing League. And we still have the fireworks, even in the wets. ZGS comes across for P2. He should be comfortably getting that. Hopefully not losing it to Liam because of penalties. Doesn't lose. Liam takes third. Joseph coming across in sector 3. Still yet to get to the finish line. He should be taking fourth. I think he has maybe just one penalty. I'm not sure if he has two, but even with two penalties, he should be able to still stay in fourth and not lose it to Osborne, who's currently in fifth, 10 seconds behind him. And that is Joseph in fourth, even with a broken front wing. Good job on him finishing the race with that. And Osborne comes across for fifth here now. We got Pincher coming for sixth. And I think that's the end of it because Joe BCR and they're disconnected. So I'm not even sure that's going to count. And driver of the day goes to ZGS23. Good job on him because he got it all up into P2. Good drive from him too in the wets. Alright, let's see the final positions as they do come just to make sure anything didn't change. Alright, so there we have it. Philo finishes pole position for the Singapore Grand Prix. ZGS takes P2, Liam takes P3, Joseph takes P4, Osborne takes P5, Pincher goes 6, Joke PCR is currently 7, Jinx currently 8, D Lawson currently 9, Bang F1 currently 10, Ryan 11, Monster 12, Mogi 13, TMB 14, The Finger 15, Cause is 16. And that's it for the Singapore Grand Prix for here for our Slydog Racing League on Tier 2, sponsored by Grace Bespoke. So I'll see you guys again next week for both Tier 1 and Tier 2. And we think the time should be 8 p.m. BST, and we start the Tier 2 race just after that. It's usually just like 3 p.m. for me because I'm on Eastern time, but just try to convert the time for you guys. So we'll see you guys once again next week. Both races for both tiers should be streamed right here, and we will be starting on time. Sorry about missing the last 2 weeks, guys. Some things did come up, but unfortunately for that, but we're not going to be missing that again. Hopefully no glitches next week on behalf of Codemasters for that part. So thank you guys for joining. Please do leave the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you guys again next week, and thanks to everyone who was in our chat.